everyone. Are you as excited as I am that spring is on its way? I love this time of year. Even though it snowed this morning, the harsh winter is finally over and the days are getting longer. It's a warm enough temperature. We can actually be outside for a while and hang out, and the buds in my garden are starting to grow out of the dirt. Like these little tiny plants like this that are popping out. My name is Courtney and I am the new curator at the museum. I've been here since November, so if you have been in any time the last few months, you might have already met me. I grew up in Logan, so I'm from Cache Valley, but I moved away to go to school and missed it so much, all the mountains and the hiking and everything, that I moved back a couple years ago. So I am very happy to be part of this wonderful museum and community, so I'm excited to get to know you all better over the years. Today we are going to talk about plants that grow in the springtime. A couple months ago at Back in Time, we talked about the first people who lived in the valley, the northwestern band of Shoshone Nation. Spring was a very exciting time for the Shoshone people too. Did you know that they spent the winter living along the Bear River? And after a long winter of eating just game and stored food, spring brought all kinds of new plant resources for food and medicine. In the spring, the Shoshone would travel throughout this region gathering new seeds, roots, berries, and other plants to use for food, medicine, and to use in special ceremonies. The plants that they would gather back then still grow here today. I bet you've heard of or seen some of these plants in your neighborhood or up the canyon. Some of the plants the Shoshone used for medicine were yarrow, wild rose, cattails, and cottonwood. So you can see these are yarrows and they're yellow, and some cottonwood is down here. They would also make teas from mint, willow, and aspens for medicinal purposes. And sagebrush was also important for teas and for special ceremonies, along with willow, cottonwood, mint, and cattail. So since a lot of these plants have multiple uses, they could be on every single one of these. So we just picked random ones that seemed useful to put them on for food ceremonies or medicine, but many were used by a lot of them, or for a lot of reasons. The Shoshone also gathered milkweed to chew on, kind of like gum, and also to make cordage, which is like a string or a thin rope. They gathered horsetail mint to use for cleaning and made paint from alder and cottonwood. The Shoshone also ate many of these plants along with camas, sunflowers, chokecherry, bitterroot, yampa, and sago lily. So there's some examples of the food over there. And we know all of this because people just like us, the Shoshone people, kept records. So this woman right here is named May Perry, and she is a Shoshone storyteller. She gathered and collected all the information from her parents and their parents before them, and she has shared it with all of her children and grandchildren today. And a lot of her original records are in this book, which we've talked about before, and I forgot to bookmark the page. But here is her handwriting with a list of a lot of the different plants and what they look like and what they used for. And some of the plants are the same ones you'll see on our pictures over there. There's a cattail, the yampa root, and some mint and a horsetail, and a sago lily, which is special because that's the state flower of Utah. Bet you didn't know that. Well, we're gonna switch to our activity now. Today, we are going to plant a flower called a hollyhock. And that's really fun to say if you wanna go and say hollyhock. Many of us have hollyhocks growing in our own gardens. And although they're not edible or native to Utah, they do have a long and important history. It's thought that they came from Japan and traveled west hundreds of years ago, Middle East, where the English first encountered them during the Crusades. The Crusaders made a salve, which is like a paste or lotion type healing balm, from a plant that was used as medicine on injuries to their horses' hind legs. So just like the Shoshone used plants for medicine, used plants for medicine, the Crusaders used plants as a medicine for their horses. Well, horses' hind legs are also called hocks. So we think this is where the name Hollyhock came from the horses' hind legs of hocks, and that were found in the Holy Land. So holy horses, Hollyhocks. Cousins of hollyhocks today are okra, cotton, and hibiscus. So now, I hope you all had a chance to come get your activity bag. They were here at the museum, and this is a lovely sample of when we're done, but we have these pots. This one's just a simple white one, but it's actually kind of pretty. We had them in all sorts of colors. And if you would like, you can color your pot very decoratively. Just use some markers. You do patterns, draw flowers, maybe you could write a poem on it, decorate it however you want. And then we take the dirt, we give you all, it's more than dirt, it's potting soil, but we can fill it. It's bad enough to go in the pot. I'm not gonna actually plant this one because I wanna make sure somebody can still come get one because we have a few activity bags left if you haven't got yours yet. So we put this in and then we give you this lovely little bag of hollyhock seeds. So carefully open it because there's a staple and sometimes that can prick your fingers. Pour a few out and put them in. And you know what? We gave you more than you need for your pot. So if your parents want, you have to ask permission first. You can plant these in another pot or maybe even in your yard. When they grow big, they will look like this. These are hollyhocks, and these are the actual hollyhocks. These seeds came from one of our board members, grew them, and gave us a bunch of hollyhock seeds. So you will have some beautiful pink and white flowers growing like this one. So just a little bit of dirt on the top of it, like this, about this much, and then make sure you water it. That's really important. I'm really bad about remembering to water my plants and they always die. So just water it, just make sure the soil stays damp. This one was planted about a month or 2 months ago, so that's how much it grows. When it gets bigger, you can move it into your garden if you want, or a bigger pot. But until it grows, we wanted to make sure you guys had a pretty flower. So this is a sample that's already done that we made, but we're gonna take the flower we have here and the string. You guys all done little string crafts before where you do a pattern? I like to just hold it right here like this and then put it around the flower and go about 4, 5, 6 down, and then just move it to the next one and the next one until you go all the way around multiple times. And you can see how I'm doing, oh, I missed one. How I'm just moving along like that. So you can do that too. And then eventually you'll have a nice little bud there and it'll be finished. So you can just stick it right in your pot and you have a pretty spring flower before the flowers actually grow. Let's see, where am I? Well, I think that about covers it. If you have any questions or still need to come get stuff, stop by the museum, send us a message. We always like to teach you more about what we learned. And thanks for watching. I hope we'll see you at our next Back in Time on April 20th. Activity packets for our April and May Back in Time activities will be available starting April 6th, which is the week of spring break for most of you if you live here. So come by the museum, get your activity packet, and that Saturday, April 10th, we're gonna have our second Saturday event. It's called Exciting Animals. So if you're looking for something fun and local to do over spring break, stop by the museum on Saturday, April 10th. Also, we're getting ready for our annual summer-long Passport to Summer Fun, so stay tuned for more information about that. I look forward to meeting you all, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.